In 2022, if you watched cricket, you saw this logo. It was front and center on the jerseys of the Indian national team, broadcast to hundreds of millions of fans worldwide. Behind that massive marketing push was a valuation of $22 billion. Backed by heavyweights like Sequoia and SoftBank, it was the single most valuable educational technology company on the planet. At the helm was Baiju Ravindran, an engineer who started out helping a few friends prep for their math exams and eventually built an empire that promised to digitize classrooms across India. But look at this graph of the company's estimated valuation. The line peaks in 2022 and then plunges down to less than $1 billion today. That is a 95% wipeout of shareholder wealth. How does a global market leader with elite institutional backing incinerate $21 billion of value in under 2 years? A crash this absolute is rarely the result of a single mistake. It is the consequence of a culture that prioritized expansion over the very foundations required to sustain it. When global school shutdowns hit in 2020, learning shifted entirely to screens. The demand for digital education spiked immediately, creating a massive influx of new users and capital for edtech platforms. Armed with fresh funding, the company began swallowing up the competition. They spent $1 billion to acquire Akash and $300 million on White Hat Jr. To keep this acquisition engine running, they took on a $1.2 billion loan from US-based institutional lenders. But large corporate loans come with strict financial covenants. When the company missed crucial reporting deadlines, those US lenders revolted. A fierce legal battle broke out over the debt, instantly creating a severe liquidity crisis. Hypergrowth fueled by billions in foreign debt creates a dangerous momentum. If the expansion stalls even slightly, those loans don't just stop helping, they become the weight that pulls the entire structure down. Behind the billion-dollar acquisitions and corporate debt structures were real children and their parents, mostly from middle and lower-income families hoping for an educational edge. To justify its massive valuation, the company imposed grueling revenue targets on its sales force. The internal culture shifted from helping students learn to closing deals at any cost. Sales representatives allegedly pushed parents into signing up for multi-year subscriptions they simply could not afford, frequently coercing them into taking out third-party, high-interest loans to cover the upfront fees. This predatory reality was a sharp departure from the original app launched in 2015, which was built entirely around high-quality video animations designed to make math and science accessible and enjoyable. A brand can survive a bad quarter or a failed product launch. But once it actively exploits the trust of its core customers, the foundation rots away. While the sales teams were aggressively chasing revenue, the finance department went dark. For years, the company simply failed to file its legally required audited financial statements. This data visualization shows the severity of the problem. When the delayed numbers were finally released, they revealed an annual loss exceeding 4,500 crore rupees, a catastrophic burn rate. The lack of transparency reached a breaking point in 2023. In a highly unusual move, the company's official auditor, Deloitte, abruptly resigned. On that exact same day, 3 key board members walked out, leaving the corporate leadership entirely hollowed out. Once a startup scales to the global stage, accurate bookkeeping and a transparent board of directors become matters of basic survival. Without these fundamental pillars in place, investor confidence evaporates instantly. Today, the company is fighting for its life. It faces active insolvency proceedings in Indian courts and a barrage of lawsuits from lenders in the United States. The very investors who once championed Baiju Ravindran recently voted to oust him as CEO, a decision he is fiercely fighting in a bitter, ongoing legal battle. In the end, even the most aggressive marketing cannot substitute for a stable business model. Scaling up blindly is no substitute for a product that actually fits its market and its customers' needs. And no matter how compelling the founder's vision is, basic corporate governance, like filing financials on time and maintaining an independent board, is non-negotiable for long-term survival. But perhaps the heaviest cost is the empty promise left behind. Millions of families bought into the idea of an ed tech revolution that would level the playing field, only to be left holding the bill. In